Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to start today's proceedings. I'm Radha Padmanabhan. I'm Radha Padmanabhan, your program director for today's event. Jumela Bome Libontate. Very good morning to all ladies and gentlemen and Indian community at large. As we all know, we have gathered here today to celebrate India's Independence Day. I wish you all a very happy Independence Day. Jai Hind. Let me brief you on how the proceeding will follow. First, there will be welcome address by Honorary Council of India to Lesotho. This will be followed by flag hoisting by singing the national anthem of India and then Lesotho. Thereafter, as a part of the celebration, there will be cake cutting. Honorary Council will invite the chief guest to make his remark. Then vote of thanks followed by refreshments. Let me now invite the Honorary Council of India to Lesotho and Late Manmohan Bakayaji to give his welcome remark. Late Bakayaji.
The sister takes more care. Thank you, Program Director. A very good morning to all of you. Jumela Bome Lebondade, Namaste. On this sacred festival, allow me to pay my respect to His Majesty King Letsie III, the Right Honorable the Prime Minister Dr. Pakadita Mosisili, Honorable President of the Senate, Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, Her Ladyship the Chief Justice, Honorable President of the Court of Appeal, Honorable Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable Ministers present here. I am deeply honored, and this shows how strong relations are between India and Lesotho by good presence. In particular, our chief guest, Dade Sakamani, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Relations. Your Excellencies, heads of diplomatic mission and heads of international organization, Her Worship the Mayor of Maseru, Honorable Member of the Senate, Honorable Members of the National Assembly, Government Secretaries, Senior Private Secretary to His Majesty, the Principal Secretaries, Commander, Lesotho Defence Force, Head of the Indian Army Training Team, Senior Government Officials, and Departmental Heads. Dr. Pirbhai, the former High Commissioner of Lesotho to India, past and present presidents. I can see we have Dr. Salam here among us, and we have Mr. Rajgopal among the past presidents. Indian and Lesotho community in large, members of media fraternity, distinguished guests, fellow Indians, and friends of India. Allow me to say all protocol duly and respectfully observed. It is my honor and privilege as Honorary Council of India to the Kingdom of Lesotho to extend a warm and cordial welcome to you all. On this momentous occasion, to celebrate the 70th Independence Day of India, I wish to extend my warm greetings to all Indians on this Independence Day. 15th August, the day is etched in the minds and hearts of all Indians, the day of rebirth of India, the day India got freedom from the British rule in 1947. This day, all Indians around the world pay homage to their leaders and salute the heroic deeds of our freedom fighters who laid down their lives for many generations. Mahatma Gandhi led Indian march to freedom and lighted the darkness. The first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, at the midnight of 15th August 1947, proclaimed India's independence by reading out his famous speech known as Trust with Destiny. He said, and I quote, "When the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom. A moment comes, which comes but rarely in history, when we step out from the old to the new, when an age ends, and when the soul of a nation, long suppressed, finds utterance. We end today a period of ill fortune, and India discovers herself again. Unquote. This freedom marked the beginning of a free India with hope and triumph. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, today as we celebrate 70th Independence Day of India, India has come a long way since independence. A sustained development effort over the last 70 years has resulted in India being on the cusp of breakout into the group of global leaders. India has achieved all-round socio-economic progress since its independence. India has registered a growth rate of 7.6% this year, and under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, the government is working to grow even to 8%. The country is the fourth largest economy in the world in terms of GDP. In addition, we are among the most vibrant democracies in the world with a proactive judiciary, free and fair media, and a pluralistic and multilingual and multi-ethnic society. India's youthful population provides India with the much-needed demographic dividend. India has become self-sufficient in agriculture production. We are one of the trailblazers in the information technology, and it is a matter of pride that Indians had some of the biggest companies in the world, among them Google and Microsoft. In outer space, India has made tremendous strides in satellite launch capability. We are also the groundbreaking achievement of sending a successful unmanned mission to Mars. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in his recent speech, visit to Africa defined rise in 4 letters, and I quote, India's rise can be defined as hope, harmony, optimism, potential, and energy. India's rise is a story of real resilience, renowned resurgence, superb speed, and spectacular scale. Unquote. The Prime Minister announced his government's commitment to backing the entrepreneurial culture in the country, Startup India, Stand Up India. It is worth appreciating that with this backing of the government, today we have 75 billion entrepreneurs in the country. Poverty, illiteracy, and unemployment are some challenges, and these are being addressed in a systematic and focused manner to uplift India's 1.25 billion people in 500 cities and 600,000 villages. We are confident that in the coming years, India will continue its upward trajectory in the global arena, and the 800 million of youth will fulfill the dreams not only of India, but the global demand in development. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, in its external affairs, India has always believed in sovereignty of state and non-interference in internal affairs. The recent visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Southern Africa, coupled with India-Africa Summit held in Delhi in 2015, has further cemented India's partnership with the African continent and the commitment to invest in and further the relations. The focus of the visit of Indian Prime Minister was on deepening cooperation in areas of trade and investment, agriculture, and food security. He said, as Africa works for its economic prosperity, safety, and security, it will find India a trusted and a reliable partner. This visit has a deep impact on enhancing mutual ties, particularly in economic sphere and people-to-people contact. During this summit of Third India-Africa Summit, Prime Minister unveiled a dynamic and transformative agenda of mutual empowerment and resurgence that will bring India and Africa closer in the years and decades to come, and announce US 10 billion in lines of credit for a host of development projects over the next 5 years, and took a pledge of granting assistance $600 million. Your Excellencies, India and Lesotho relations are based on cooperative engagement and mutual trust. India appreciates the regular support and cooperation extended by the government of Lesotho at various multilateral forums. Lesotho has been an important partner of India in South-South cooperation. India considers Lesotho as an important partner in Africa and is committed to capacity building in Lesotho. India and Lesotho share strong relation and cooperation in foreign relations, defense, human resource development, economic engagement, science and technology. The meeting between the two prime ministers on the sidelines of the third India-African Summit has further paved a way for increased engagement between the two countries with emphasis on trade. Following this visit, different delegations from Lesotho led by honorable ministers and private sector have taken place and hopefully many more will follow. In the current year, India allocated 60 slots under the ITEC program, and I'm happy to announce that some are already in India and some are proceeding in the end of the month. And also long-term scholarships under ICCR, 20 have been offered, which are long-term scholarships for over 4 years. We have already 19 students in India and one is about to leave by the end of the month. More than 30 personnel of LDF are scheduled to attend various military courses in Indian Army training institutions in 2016 for capacity enhancement. Further, I am informed that there are more than 65 self-sponsored students in different institutions in India. My humble request is that these students should register with the Office of High Commissioner of Lesotho in India for the welfare of all parties. Many of the students who have successfully completed their studies are now contributing in the development of the country in the field of education, engineering, management, and other sectors. 6 Basotho women residing in villages around the dam were trained and are implementing the skills attained by electrifying rural areas by installing solar systems. I am happy to report that a private sector delegation representing several different companies, majority of them from the private sector, were invited to India in February 2016 to participate in an international exhibition showcasing electrical products and equipments. In May 2016, which is the highlight, a cultural and a dance troupe from Lesotho performed in India to mark the Africa Day celebration with the theme, India-Africa Bound Together. This is the first time that a cultural troupe from Lesotho has traveled to India. Indian ICCR was the host and a week-long event was organized with an aim to highlight Africa's diversity, success, economic potential and cultural resonance with India and rest of the world. As Basotho should feel proud that Lesotho was honored with a chance to select a cultural troupe out of 42 African countries. The Dikaka Pa Africa from Lesotho performed in this event to promote this Lesotho culture. As the Honorary Council, it will be my earnest effort to explore new areas of common endeavors and also strengthen the areas where we are already in partnership. The relation and cooperation between the two nations must grow from strength to strength and for the mutual benefit of our two people. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, today, as we celebrate the 70th Independence Day of India, Lesotho gets ready to celebrate 50th Independence Day celebration on 4th of October 2016. His Majesty, the King has lit the ceremonial torch and celebration has started and has called on all Basutus to unite in building the nation. On behalf of Indian community in Lesotho, I can assure that we will stand shoulder to shoulder with the Basutu in their undertakings and goals. In celebration of Golden Jubilee of their freedom, liberty and well-being, the Indian community will be a part of this celebration, and I have requested the IL, the Indian Association of Lesotho, to join and support to make the day a grand success. At this point in time, I can only state and confirm that there will be an Indian dance troupe which will perform in Lesotho in celebration of this event. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, all Indians feel extremely welcome and comfortable in Lesotho. Thanks to the kindness and hospitality of the Basotho people, a significant number of Indian nationals have made Lesotho as home over decades and have amalgamated with their Basotho counterparts. The members of the Indian community are made up of professionals, be it teachers, doctors, engineers, international development workers, as well as businessmen, all of whom contribute to the development efforts of the government and the private sector. Lesotho had heaviest snowfall since 1964. This resulted in the death of some people, and over 1,000 families had to be supplied with food and other essential commodities and basic needs to keep them warm from the cold weather. I extend my deepest condolences to the families of those who have lost their loved ones and heartfelt sympathy to all the Basotho people who have been affected in one way or the other by this disaster. To stand in solidarity with these affected people, I called upon some of the community members and the Indian Association of Lesotho to provide assistance. I know a lot of people from the Indian community were ready, but the time was very short to organize all this. However, on an urgent front, the Indian community representing their companies are, as a token to be together, 50 warm jackets and 500 blankets today. The jackets are provided by CGM and the blankets by different companies which I will name. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, before proceeding with the flag hoisting, I would like to read a quote by Mark Twain that I think summarizes the beautiful India whose independence we are here to celebrate. India is the cradle of the human race, the birthplace of speech, the mother of history, the grandmother of legend, and the grandmother of tradition. Our most valuable and most intrusive material in the history of man are treasured up in India only, unquote. I wish to convey my sincere thanks to all for joining us today. Jai Hind. Khotso Ulama.
Wow. Thanks a lot, Bakaiji, for your informative and wonderful speech. He recognized the presence of past presidents of IAL. I think he has forgotten to mention that he was also a past president and the patron of the association. Let me now request you all to stand up and get ready for the flag hoisting. Please keep standing for India's and Lesotho's national anthem. Thank you.
हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जगति तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाए तव जय गाथा गण गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
भारत माता की
जय
भारत माता की
जय
भारत माता की
जय
So Pula Nala. Thank you very much. Thank you all.